anytime I wanted to share something with you, I'm going to flip my camera on and show you. Now I've already pulled the carpet up and loosened it up all the way, and incidentally, where the door openings are, there's always an extra, there's always a seam here, and then they put carpet, a glue strip here. See, it's usually about yay wide, and then that's how they glue that down. But lots of times, you see on this, it gets stuck to the carpet pad, and that's why I was having a hard time with that other piece pulling it up. Okay, so when on this one, I just ripped it right off by hand. Let's see if I just got lucky or not. See this one? There's another carpet seam right there, and I'm just gonna try my hand out with just pulling this, because there's two carpet joints there. Anyways, it's just on the glue. Ugh. There. See? You can do that. You don't have to take your... See, I was trying to take my sheetrock knife and cut through there, right about where I thought that edge was, but that's gonna kind of mess you up, because then you have to cut through this. If you're not perfectly on the seam, then you have to cut through the tape, and then the tape is kind of glued onto the pad, because this got hot. You know what I mean? Okay, so that's not the real thing I wanted to show you. I wanted to show you, remember I told you you can cut the surface of this, and I'm going to cut this. I'm looking at this, and I'm going to cut it in 3 pieces. So I'm going to cut one strip and one strip. That way I've got 3 pieces in here that I can roll up. Okay, so I'm just going to show you, like I was telling you, I can cut it on the top surface, but I'll show you what happens when you do that. It's a lot more messy. I'm just going to kind of eyeball this. Okay. And now I'm cutting. See, I can only cut so much at a time here. And the carpet, you get all these little bits on here. It starts gumming up your blade to a certain extent. Okay. Jeez. I'm gonna get you resituated over here. Just bear with me here. Man, it's funny how when you're down trying to cut something on your hands and knees, you can get off so far. Look at that. Look at that crooked line. I'm supposed to be way over here. Oh well. This next piece I'll have to eyeball a little better, huh? Okay. Still cutting the surface. Your blade's got to be nice and sharp for this to get through there. Okay. All right. So that's one way you're going to cut the carpet. Here's pretty much the best way that I've found. A cleaner way too. Get you reset up here. I've got to cut or pull the carpet up to the back side. Boy, I got a nice little line going right there, so I can see where it's straight too, right? Look at that. And that's going to be a lot straighter. Now, I'm trying to get you set up where I don't have to move the camera again. Okay, back side. Now, if my blade wasn't 100% sharp, as long as not the tip, but from here back, as long as that is, I can jam it in all the way and just get the cutter from here this way, because lots of times your blade doesn't get used all the way to the knuckle anyway. You see what I'm saying? Okay, so let's cut this now. And I'm gonna cut it. I'm gonna cut it right down here. Look at that. That's so much cleaner, so much faster, easier. Okay, like that. And now I can roll that up. Okay, that'll fit in the dumpster. That'll fit in the dumpster fine. Okay. In fact, this next piece is kind of big, and I want a few pieces of carpet that are smaller, so I can kind of finagle them into the dumpster properly. Okay, so I'm gonna choose to cut this in half again. Let's see here. How am I gonna do this? I'm just gonna pull this back on itself like this. Make a determination about on the line that I want. I'm just gonna cut it right there. Okay. Poke it in. I've got the blade pushed all the way in. I'm using that last little bit. So if your tip's dull, you can still cut it, right? Other than shoving your tip in there, I can pull this back so I'm not right up against the base board to cut that. Right? I can do the same thing down here. Sometimes I just cut, but if you slip, you can put a mark on your baseboard, you can put a mark on the wall. You just pull this back. Okay? Like that. And now, I've got this piece right here. I'm going to roll up on the carpet side, on the outside. I put my hands on the edges. That way I can kind of line it up, so I'm not going cattywampus. Let's say, flip it around so it doesn't unroll. Okay, on this piece here, I don't want to just roll it up yet, because if I do, I got this side on the back, or on the face. Remember I told you this stuff is really rough. And let me show you this. I don't know if you can see it glistening in the light or not, but man, it's just got sharp edges on here. If I ran my hand on it, I could probably make it bleed, you know? And you can imagine this stuff, when it hits nice white baseboards, window stools, especially window or door frames, door trim, especially when they cut the carpet, and the carpet guys have to be real careful because they fold it to this is on the outside, but they have a way to do it where they're real careful, and they got to fold it up in such a way to where when they bring it in, they can't get too big of a roll, and they have to go through these openings just right, because if not, they scrape the edge right there, scrape that, scrape this, depending on how they're going around the corner. See, as they're coming around the corner, they might hit this, they might hit this little edge, they might hit this rail, they might hit that down there. So when they get ready to install carpet, you bet your life I'm going to be here, and I'm going to point those things out. Hey, be careful of the door frames and the baseboards and all that, because it's just been painted. Just been painted. If this stuff is, you know, 10 years old and hasn't been painted, you're still going to get a mark on it from the backside of this carpet. And here's the other thing I'm going to point out to those guys when they install the carpet. Hey, be real careful, because the baseboards have brand new paint on them and stuff. And because when they flop the carpet down, if they're not careful and they flop the carpet just like that, let's say they go like this, kaboom, like that. And depending how this hits, this back, you know, if this was flipped over, mind you, this back is up against here, and it pushes down on there, you get a scratches on your door frame, on your door jamb, trim, your casing, and even your baseboard down low. When they flop this into the room, they need to be careful as they're flopping it in, as they're pushing it with their feet over, as they're laying the last little bit down, as they get ready to cut it. They have to be mindful of all that stuff, don't they? Because if they start cramming it down the face and push it down, can you see how that's going to scratch all your baseboards? This back side, see? So there's a few things that I'm going to have to be here, and I'm going to point it out to them. Of course I am. So this one I'm not going to roll up just yet. I'm going to take it, I'm going to flip it over. Okay. I mean, how hard was that? It doesn't take long to do these things. It takes you a little bit longer to get your entire job done by flipping things over. But you see, I flipped the carpet first to cut the back side on this last piece. So that's what you do when you go into your room. You're already going to have this back side. And so, hey, I want the carpeted side on the outside anyways. 99% of guys, when they have the carpet thrown away in dumpsters and stuff, you take a look at it. The back side is usually the side that you see. But I'm doing this because I'm going to be mindful. It's easier to lift, and your arms don't get all scratched up. If you try to do this for 5 or 6 hours, and that was your job, you're a laborer. Let's say you're a day laborer. For the next 8 hours, you got to roll up carpet, had somebody else cut, and you got to huff it out to the dumpster. And you put it on the other side, your arms right in here are going to be all red. They're going to be marked up. You're going to have blood flowing for sure. You're going to have a rash and all that. This way you're not. And see, you could roll up this whole room. Granted, you got to flip the whole piece of carpet over first, then cut it. Then you could double fold it over so the carpeted side is on the outside, then roll it up. Okay, your pieces are going to be way longer than that, mind you. I'm doing this because I'm trying to fit it into a small dumpster at a condo complex. But if I was at a job site, of course, they're not going to pay me to do something like this. They're going to want big pieces. They're going to want this stuff out of here like pronto. Okay, but you could still fold it up. That way you're mindful of the door frames. Hey, if you rub on the side of this as you're going out with a 9-foot wide roll or 12-foot long roll. No, actually, if you fold that in half, it's going to be 6 foot and stuff. You got it over your shoulder. Do you care if it hits this edge? No, because the carpeted side is going to be on the outside. Okay, remember that. I might even title the whole series "Remodeling a Condo," how to remodel a condo, or whatever. So I don't know what it's going to be called yet. Just look on whatever one this is, look at it and find out what the episode is. And if you want to see some previous ones or some later ones, have at it. Well, that's all I got for this time. But I'll be back with more videos.